While a lot of playables lately are all about brute strength or one-tap wins, only Raptor gives me the satisfaction of the dance of battle. There's something about those more drawn-out fights. The footwork, the risks taken, and the delicious taste of a well-earned victory that just doesn't feel the same among the others. The only real problem is that Omni is plagued with some of the most devastating bugs in the game, making it really difficult to enjoy lately. But I'm tired of being gigantic, slow, and heavyweight. I long for agility and speed. And so I spawned and died a few dozen times on Raptor, before finally finding myself on a path to success. Every life begins with a goal in mind: find food. It was night when I spawned this time. Expected, as I had just died a moment earlier to an ESP cheating carno, but that life doesn't matter now. It was time to move forward. Time to focus. Lock in. It was time to put my tippy-tappy raptor toes to work. And actually, I found food rather quickly. I didn't know what had killed this baby carno. All I knew was that it was dead, it had organs, and I was gonna eat it. The sun began to rise while I waited to be hungry again, and with that sunlight came the sound of juvenile rexes. Ew. Well, I needed more diets, and I wasn't going to let them just claim the carno body. Luckily, they were distracted by one of their own. Partly. They couldn't seem to decide if they wanted to try and kill me, or if they wanted to let me eat. Once the carno had been eaten down to bones, I watched the other two juvenile raptors that had appeared as they did their best to scavenge what they could. And then I promptly decided to eat the body of the carno the rexes had killed, because that still existed. Waste not, want not. Full belly, it was time to leave. See, there was a baby Teno screaming nearby, and once I touched the sanctuary, I had every intention of hunting it down. My path took me into the forest and through the gate. He didn't sound much closer. But a baby carno did. A pair of friendly calls just down the hill meant food. With the larger of the two down, I attempted to tell the smaller one to just walk away. Don't make me kill you too. He chose death. I was beginning to get some growth under me now. The carnos had been a great lead-up to the server restart. Once the world was renewed, though, I knew I'd need to find my next meal. And for once, that was an easy task. Guess I shouldn't have been surprised that it was an over-aggressive Teno. They quite often don't know when to keep their toes to themselves. That's fine. If he wanted to be taught a lesson in caution, I would gladly teach him. Bite-fighting Tenos, as just about any carnivore, is one of my favorite things. I have noticed a bug this patch where pain noises don't always happen even when you land a hit. Not the worst thing, but still somewhat annoying, as it's difficult to know when my bites were registering or not, unless I hit him directly on the face. He cornered himself. Mildly inconvenient, but not unmanageable. Lesson learned. We can hope anyway. Now that I'd hit my second mutation, I needed to get my tail on the move. As prosperous as Delta had been in my early life, I had no intention of becoming your basic frail elder at the end of my life. That's not one well lived. I have this habit of always holding my scent key when I'm on the move. Walking or running, it's just absolutely necessary. Like a comfort blanket hauled around by a toddler. And honestly, if you're going to carry around a comfort blankie in the aisle, always sniffing is probably the best one to have. Because what did I smell ahead? Food, yes. But also a moment of a mixpack scent. Cautiously, I made my way around and peeked over the hill to see what I was looking at. 2 Rexes sitting on an opened carcass. Whatever was with them was either too small or hiding between them. Enough investigations. Better not to be seen. I moved on to touch the migration and the nearest patrol in Highlands before turning to head toward West Rail. I was stopped in my tracks by bushes rustling ahead. I didn't have many options to hide, so even though the tuft of grass in front of me wasn't ideal, I crouched in it and hoped that the very large carno moving directly toward me was completely oblivious to his surroundings. West Rail was empty and devoid of life, so as the night grew old, I entered south. I could hear a packy nearby. I really hate the Bonkinator as a raptor, but I was getting hungry now and I hadn't come across any other options. I picked up its tracks and carefully moved forward, watching the beach where I'd last heard it call and where the tracks led. Oh, he was up ahead all right, and fighting something. I couldn't tell exactly what. A speedy juvenile rex, maybe? No. A carno. I needed food. I decided I'd sit back and watch from a distance, then pick off the victor when the fight ended. Food is food, and whichever one was left would hopefully be hurt. At least, that was my plan until the Rex arrived. The carno ran directly toward it, and their intentions quickly became clear. The Rex was with the carno. Mixpacking. Of course. But you know what? Enough is enough. I've been jumped by mixpacks exactly like this one too many times on my Rexes. Screw it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I was going to help that packy finish off the carno. Get him, packy, get him. Then the second Rex arrived. Oh goody. The carno was still going to die. Even if they called every Rex on the server, I was committed. With a victory screech, we took off in opposite directions. Should we meet again, we would absolutely kill each other like civilized dinosaurs. But until then, we'd banished the carno to the void, and it tasted sweet. I didn't get to eat the carno, but I didn't expect to. The fat Rexes inhaled it quickly, and I proceeded to eat the corpses of every baby Rex around the southern sanctuary, before making my way back toward Delta. See, I'd achieved Prime Elder. I would have only a short time to get back to the main hotspot and find some final action before I got old and weak. Finding a dead Rex with lungs still in it was a plus. I wouldn't be pressed to hunt without thinking, to avoid starvation at least. Of course, my initial pass didn't net me much. The area was eerily quiet. I reached the bridge after jumping and swimming across the center of the Delta rivers, and went to investigate a massive corpse I could see on the other side. That's big. Trike, or Rex. Shrike. No, you don't. So anyway, night fell as I searched for a Tenanto that had been calling on and off in the area. When I finally found it, it was right next to a group of Serratos. I couldn't decide if they were together or if he'd just sort of wandered into the area. Are they together? As he began to move away from them, I took the risk. Maybe if I was lucky, the Serratos would simply not notice me attacking it, or choose not to interfere. Hey, buddy. Keep moving. Mm-hmm. The fight didn't get nearly as far as I wanted to before the Serratos came rushing toward us. Did they want to help me or the Teno? I couldn't decide. Either way, I didn't want them here. And clearly the Teno didn't either. Don't help. As he darted away, I slowed to a trot. As long as the Serratos kept putting on pressure, I wasn't going to get to fight the Teno. And sure enough, the adult Serrato took over the fight when the younger two stopped following me. I watched from my little island, waiting, hoping the Teno would cross so I could pick back up the fight. But no. As a packy went to help, I believed the Teno had died. Oh, Packy, that was a bad plan. Well, there was still an injured Packy nearby. I'd go for that instead. As much as I hate fighting Packies, Food was food. With a full stomach and in the light of the morning sun, my raptor laid down her weary head and went peacefully into the great beyond. For where one life ends, another begins. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon. I'm jumping back across, screw that.